We all come from different backgrounds and practice different traditions, but we belong to one humanity. At Valley Strong Credit Union, we care deeply about the communities where we live and serve. That's why over the past 80 years, we've donated and invested millions of dollars into various partnerships, nonprofits, and businesses in Kern County. And as we continue to grow, we remain rooted here in our community. Valley Strong. Grow your possibilities.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the land of the Titans. Frontier Titans hosting the Independence Falcons, Kenny Calvin and Rick Van Horn, along with our producer-director, Dr. Julian Wilson. We are live for Frontier Homecoming, and it's a beautiful crowd. This might be the best crowd we've seen all year, right, Coach?
I think it has. You know, they got a heck of a home crowd, I'm telling you.
So we have Frontier 3-1. They're in a three-way tie at the top of their SYL River League, even though we're itching close to league play. Independence 2-1 in the SWYL Valley League. They coming off a tough one against South. I'm expecting a good game tonight, Coach.
Well, I tell you what, Frontier is for real this year. So, you know, you got those pretenders and contenders. And Frontier is a contender this year. We don't know too much about Independence. It's our second game with Frontier, so we know what they bring to the table, and that's a potent offense. I'm telling you what, this quarterback is one of the best in town. Their offense is going. Last week they had a tough loss to Bullard, 49-47, but Bullard was the top 4 school in the Valley, so Frontier's got it going. So I don't know what Independence brings to the table, but I was looking through the Independence roster, and I come across a name. It doesn't take long.
Oh, yeah.
Prince Ellis.
Oh, yeah, Prince Ellis.
So he must be a transfer, but
wow.
I noticed he hasn't been able to play yet, so he must be in that transfer portal where you got to sit out 30 days, so I don't know if he's playing tonight. If he is, we may have a game. If not, it may be all Frontier.
Well, you just gave me goosebumps because, ironically, LaKendrick Dion Ellis passed away last year today. His dad passed away last year today, and I just shared the memory because he was a great friend of mine. We used to play basketball against each other. So I'm excited to see if Prince gets an opportunity. That's an amazing surprise, and I think one that aligns with the universe for you to even bring up the Ellis name on the anniversary of his dad's death.
Well, he's on the roster. He transferred from South. He was an all-area player last year, best player at South High last year. Of course, you remember King Ellis.
Absolutely.
Player of the year.
7 touchdowns against Highland.
Oh, we were at that game.
Joe was with us, too.
And so, you know, if he's, it's a matter of time before he transferred straight over, and it's got to sit out 30 days. So, I don't think he's ready to play tonight, but we might see him.
Absolutely. Well, definitely worth mentioning. But speaking of mentioning people who need the recognition, young Malachi Statler. You know, when we had the first game against the Drillers, that was our first time seeing him. Yeah. But this offensive staff came out in the pro-style spread offense, and he went to work.
He did, you know, and he's not a great athlete, but he manages this offense very well, sits back much like Centennial. And I tell you what, we've seen Centennial and Frontier, both, I think those two offenses in town are the best in town, and they're going to match up here in a couple of weeks. But Malachi is got that thing going. He's already thrown for 1,100 yards.
Wow.
In 4 games.
Oh, my goodness.
This is the halfway mark. We're 5 games, week 5, and Independence has got to really bring it tonight because Frontier's got homecoming.
Beautiful crowd.
They're on a roll, and they're in the top 10 in the Valley. Independence is down the line a little bit. Of course, that's where they were last year.
Right.
They lost their first 6 games last year, turned around and ran the next 9. They won
Amazing
9 in a row. And so we'll see what happens tonight.
Well, not a lot of stats on the Independent side of the football when we go to look up things, but ultimately, like you said, one thing we know about a Coach Schwabel, coach team, they're going to find a way to compete, and you never know when they're going to click and find their rhythm, especially when you're getting extra weapons.
Yeah, and it may not be tonight, but they're not in the same league. Like you said, Independence is in that Valley, Southwest Yosemite, what they call the Valley League, with Highland, Bakersfield Christian, and Ridgeview. And, of course, Frontier is in the big league with Centennial, Frontier, Liberty, Garces, and Stockdale.
Well, Malachi Statler, they actually played Hanford last week, Coach Bullitt the week before that, but he went 24 of 46 and 401 yards with 2 touchdowns in that loss.
Okay.
That's balling out.
That was the 49-47 game.
Yes,
they
indeed.
were in it till the end.
We want to thank our sponsors at Valley Strong Credit Union, as well as the staff at Frontier High School, Principal Vicki Thompson, Brian Easter, AP of Instruction, AP of Administration, Jennifer Mattern, Athletics Director Mike Gibson, and Activities Director Lynette Cornford. Let's get down to business. Kickoff is caught at the 30 and taken out at the 39, and it's going to be 1st and 10 with some great field position, Coach.
That was number 8 for Independence, Antoine Arcio. So, don't know much about Independence. We haven't had him this year. So, anxious to see what they come out in.
Absolutely. Number 10 in the Central Section, Division II.
Yeah. I see number 1 at quarterback for Independence. And that is Prince Ellis.
Let's go. Do it for your daddy, young man. And he keeps it. Oh, no, it's a nice fake. And on the zone read, and that's going to be a 1-yard gain. But like you said, Coach, right away we're getting to see Prince Ellis. And this is some great news for the fans of Independence who, they're 2-1 right now. They're not struggling majorly. But anytime you can get a weapon like that, that's phenomenal.
Yeah, especially in that league with
spread set, pistol formation for Ellis. And now he keeps it, and we seeing that athleticism right away. 8-yard keeper, and that's going to be 2nd or 3rd and 1 for Independence.
Yeah, Independence is a whole different team with him at the helm. We've seen him for the last couple of years at South High. Now he's at Independence. And much like his brother, King Ellis, he is a player.
Well, talk about a gift from the gods, man. I talked about the anniversary of his pop's death, and he gets to start in front of me and you tonight against a good Frontier team, and now they got room. And that's an amazing run out across midfield, and that's going to be down at the 41. 1st and 10, Independence, and
That was number 2, Richard Gooden. Wow.
Coach, we might have a game on our hands tonight, man. I wasn't expecting this, but it's going down. 1st and 10, Independence Falcons.
Well, that's one of the keys here. Independence has to get off fast, and they got to score early.
Trips open set for Ellis. Rolls left. Pressure. He's just going to throw that one away, and that's a great decision as he's getting pressure from 88, Chris Holly. Also had Heredia Landon back there providing some pressure on Ellis.
So this has got to be the first game, because we hadn't seen Prince in the stats. So this must be his first game of the season for Independence.
You know, and it's heartwarming based on the fact that I didn't know if he was playing this year. And now they go power off the left side, and he breaks it back right. But just a great job by the interior defensive line of Frontier.
On the stop, number 78, Jaco Hannison.
And I tell you what, Frontier has played some top-notch competition already this year with Hanford, Bullard, Bakersfield High.
Third down and 7.
So they know physical games.
Absolutely, Coach. And one of the things that we were actually trying to allude to when the Drillers played Frontier is that, hey, Frontier is a good football team, and the Drillers aren't as bad as everybody think. They're losing. They lost to Frontier, but Frontier's a quality ball club.
Yeah, they're for real. Like I said, they're a contender.
Oh, and Ellis with the amazing fake. Still on his feet. He faked me out, and that's a 3-yard gain. I thought the fullback had it.
You know, he's left-handed, and he looks a lot like who?
Michael Vick.
There you go. There you go.
Especially in that burgundy.
Yeah, that's right. He looks a lot like Michael Vick.
Coach, I got to tell you, I'm a Seminoles fan. We were getting kicked around before, as I left the house. After our starting quarterback left.
Yeah, 21-14 Louisville.
Right, but I remember Michael Vick giving my Seminoles the fits back when he was at VTech, and that's a great comparison, Coach.
Yeah.
4th and short. Oh, and they got him to jump, but also movement up top, and that's going to be offsetting penalties. And you can see Prince Ellis going over there to chew his wide receiver out.
We're going to have an offside on Frontier. First down, Frontier Independence.
And that's a great observation, is the fact that the encroachment caused the receiver to move because he's looking inside at the ball. Once he sees him go across, that's a defensive penalty. So Independence catches a break.
The one thing I noticed about Independence, they're big up front. Look at big 77 there.
Wow. Austin Davis.
Yeah.
Ellis keeps it. Tackled immediately after the 1-yard gain.
On the quarterback keeper, number 1, Prince Ellis.
Going to bring up about a 2nd and 9 there. About a gain of 1.
8:18 to play. Here in the land of the Titans, we got our man Titan Tom downstairs. Now we call him Touchdown Tom up for the Renegades since he took over for Carl Bryant. But now we got a jet sweep, and that's amazing play in the backfield by the Titans.
Who was that? You got your binoculars out?
I finally got my eyes, Coach, and that's going to be number 70, Ethan Atkins, with the huge play in the backfield, looking like a Bubba Smith.
Going way back there.
Yeah, so we just got a quick message. We'll try to work out those audio issues and make sure our levels are right for you guys. Thanks for that insight. Definitely want to take the time to thank our staff down at the Kern High School District Superintendent's Office and our boss, Stan the Man Green, going into the Hall of Fame this year. But now that's a nice run on the outside, and he's crossed the 25 to the 22-yard line. And he gets all of that lost back.
So that's going to bring up about a 3rd and 5 here.
And number 88, Chris Holly.
And it looked like it was Antoine Arceo on the carry, if I'm not mistaken.
That was number 2. That was Gooden there.
So Gooden was on the carry, and Arceo was blocking out front. But how about that gain to put him back in a position to have a makeable conversion opportunity?
We got it. They're going for it. 4th down and 5. So somehow I got a feeling Prince Ellis is going to be involved in this play. And there he goes.
Oh, and Ellis scrambling for his life, has an opportunity, throws it, and it's caught, but it's going to be, it's incomplete. It was well short as well. Great defense by the Titans.
For number 15,
So Frontier's going to take over on about the 24-yard line. Now it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting on how Independence plays these guys. They come out with empty here.
Yeah, trips up or black empty set. They go right with the quick one step.
Frontier has not only a guy in Stadler that can throw it, they got guys that can catch it.
Absolutely. Amazing job by Devin Cochran making his man miss. And this is what Frontier does to you. They stress you out going up tempo. And now we got a timeout. And that may be a substitution situation.
If you're Independence, you can't play these guys man-to-man. They run too many mesh, crossing routes, mesh routes, whatever you want to call it. A lot of rubs, a lot of picks. So you're going to have to play a lot of zone, which is in favor of Frontier.
Absolutely, Coach, and you hit the nail right on the head. Because that was a one-on-one matchup. We're going to take a quick break and try to get our sound right with 6:20 to play in the first quarter in Titan Land.
We all come from different backgrounds and practice different traditions, but we belong to one humanity. At Valley Strong Credit Union, we care deeply about the communities where we live and serve. That's why over the past 80 years, we've donated and invested millions of dollars into various partnerships, nonprofits, and businesses in Kern County. And as we continue to grow, we remain rooted here in our community. Valley Strong. Grow your possibilities.
All right, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Trying to work out those audio issues. We appreciate the input from the sideline. You had a Mason Tapia catch, and that's going to bring up a 2nd and 1. Oh, and they're taking a shot, and he has a man, and it's caught, and that's going to be a touchdown, Titans.
It looks like number 5 or 3. What do you got on that one? Number 3.
Wow.
Cade Shelton on the touchdown reception. And a nice ball by Stadler.
My mic sounds nice. Check 1. How about that?
Wow.
Pass from Malachi Stadler on the fade, Coach. It's just, but it goes back to the point that you made, and I love being next to you when you're right all the time. Because you talked about you cannot go man on man against the talent that they have on the edges.
That's right. You know, their offense is very sophisticated, I should say, with a lot of, like I said, a lot of crossing routes, a lot of mesh routes. When they do get that man one-on-one situation, they're going to take advantage because they've got this young freshman, Watson, that is going to be something in a couple of years.
Well, you know, ladies and gentlemen, we got our bodyguard, Big Joe, in the booth with us tonight. He's one of my main mentors from my high school years, but I had to give him a good shoulder bump as Coach always got his crystal ball out over here, man. Every week.
You might have heard him on that shoulder bump, man. He's no spring chicken anymore. Joe Aldana.
But Coach, it's a beautiful thing to see those things, because one of the things you taught us as players is you have to be aware of pre-snap recognition to know what's coming from an individual perspective. You guys as coaches could dial up all the things in the world for us as players, but if you don't have your antennas up pre-snap to know what's probably going to be coming at you, you're going to end up getting beat. And that's what happened to that defensive back there. You know, they go trips open.
Yeah.
You got a one-on-one matchup, and you're all over here alone by yourself. You got to have those antennas up and not let them get over the top of you.
And that's what that film work does during the week. You know, you find out who the guy is that you think is the weakest out there, and then you attack him.
Absolutely. So now Frontier They're going to kick it off, and I don't know who that is. That's number 2.
Richard Gooden.
Okay.
Richard Gooden.
But great coverage in Frontier. It starts off with some great defense, getting a stop after Independence has some great momentum. Now, right away, you come out and take your shot, and you're putting that pressure right back on the Independence offense to make sure they can move the chains and get something going.
Yeah, and we found out Independence can move the ball against Frontier. So how long that can last, we'll see.
1st and 10, Independence heading north. Oh, amazing penetration inside, but great move by the running back, and we'll definitely get you a number on that because that was great penetration by the D-line. It looked like Anthony Rico on the catch. On the carry.
Anthony Rico, I tell you what, he had to do a lot there to get that 5 yards.
Absolutely.
2nd down and 5 for Independence.
So 2nd and 5.
They get about 3 there. Again, Gooden on the carry.
Now, they take that 2nd down opportunity to try to create another makeable 3rd down conversion opportunity. That's what I was getting at with that 2nd and 5 dialogue. Because for Independence team, it doesn't seem like they have a lot on the outside, but looks like they're getting what they want inside, Coach. Trips open set for Ellis.
3rd and 3.
Oh, huge option. Keeper. Now Ellis has a step in. Touchdown saving tackle. Woo.
Gain of about 15 there. I tell you what, this guy gives them a whole new dimension.
Absolutely.
You know.
Coach, because that's some amazing penetration inside by number 78, Jake O'Hannison and Ethan Atkins. They're getting back there, but he's so shifty, he's making people miss in the telephone booth.
Yeah.
Pistol doubles formation. And that's a nice tackle inside as Ethan Eccles was on the carry. Son of Fred Eccles.
Is that really?
The Cal State
basketball
legend.
Fred Eccles.
Absolutely.
It's funny because Richard Gooden's grandfather I played with in high school.
It's got all these family connections. You start hearing these names. I didn't know little Ethan was out there, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody message me if I'm wrong.
We got him. Yo!
Oh, and that's our first opportunity to see King Ellis or Prince Ellis's arm, and we're probably going to do that a few times tonight because King Ellis probably had one of the greatest individual performances I've ever seen out of a Bakersfield football player when he was at South High versus Highland.
Yeah, you're talking about King Ellis, and that was he scored 7 that night.
Oh my goodness!
I think that score was 50-51. That was a high-scoring game, if I remember that right.
Absolutely, he's another kid that I would love to see continuing his career, but we'll follow up on that. Trips open set.
Got
for Independence.
3rd and 8.
Oh, now they got movement again. That snap count is starting to give Titans some trouble tonight.
So now it makes it about a 3rd and 3, more manageable. King Ellis comes in, this is his first game, comes in with a lot of confidence. He's played quarterback before.
Yep, and Coach just did it too. He called him King.
Oh.
Trips open set. That's all right, Coach. We go get it together. And now a nice, tough run inside.
And I got a feeling Independence may go for this.
Absolutely. You're kind of in no man's land. Yeah. Way too deep for your kicker. You know, and they're
Yeah.
getting that 3 yards in the cloud of dust that you need from that kind of offense, Coach. You know, they had an amazing quarterback last year doing the thing, you know, and for Coach Shahabel, who played quarterback himself, he knows that that's what he needs to have a successful team, have to have consistency at the quarterback.
In his offense, you've got to have a quarterback that can run and pass.
Absolutely.
Frontier offense, a little different.
Ellis on the keeper, and he's
got
going
it.
to have it. So how about this, ladies and gentlemen? 2:04 to play in the land of the Titans. Kenny Calvin and Rick Van Horn. We got the best security in the world tonight. We got the best security up top with Joe. We got the best security on the bottom with my cousin D. Cal, the legendary driller and renegade in Kansas State defensive tackle.
Yes, I saw him coming in. So, you know, it's funny. Prince reminds me some of not only Michael Vick, but a kid a couple years ago, way back, if you go, Philip Thomas.
Oh, yes. Not a name that doesn't get mentioned enough. Former driller and Redskin.
Fresno State All-American. Left-hander, can run. More of an athlete than a quarterback. You know, whether Prince plays quarterback next year is don't know, but chances are he's going to be a DB, maybe a receiver at that next level.
Yes, indeed. So now, Coach, we have a 2nd and 7. And here's a area of the field, if you're Independence, you might want to try to take a shot. Catch them off guard because they've been D'ing you up pretty much inside. Here's that shot. There it is, Coach. They take another shot, and it's just overthrown, and I stole your style with my crystal ball on that one. Incomplete pass, but they definitely take a shot. And now puts them in a tough 3rd and 7.
3rd and 7, but this is going to be a 4-down zone for them, so they'll have 2 plays to try to get the 7 yards.
No, so, Coach, we haven't talked about the coaching staffs. Titans coached by Coach Chris Bandy, Brent Durkin, Isaiah Atatasi, Kenny Haas, the legend, Lucas Bushnell, Matt Bushnell, Seto Castaneda, Tyler Ferguson, and Richard Van Horn, along with Dallas Lafon as well. Oh, and that looked like it came out, and they're saying they have it, and that's going to be Frontier football on the strip.
That's one thing Independence couldn't do tonight. They can't turn the ball over and give it back to a potent offense like Frontier.
First and 10, Frontier at the 36-yard line.
Frontier staying with that empty set.
Ooh, and I was just about to say, Coach, that receiver left a little early, and they got him. Boy, he took off. The ball must have been going to him on that one. That's going to be a false start. But blown opportunity by Independence, Coach.
Yeah. And, you know, Frontier will nickel and dime you, and then they'll go up top. That's what you do when you come out in 5 wide. You know, you're not looking for that big shot down the field. You're looking for the nickel and dime, just like a run play.
Right, and that's what they're doing right now
Okay.
with this flood pass.
And there's Watkins.
Pass complete to number 17, Malcolm Watkins.
Nice job by Malcolm Watkins. And it goes back to your point, Coach. When they spread you out in that black empty set, Malachi Statler is just back there picking.
He can pick it,
poison.
and you're going to stay in a zone defense. And it's kind of catch-22. If you're Independence, to get pressure, I got to send guys.
Oh, and that was nice coverage right there. I want to say that was either Gooden. Oh, no, that was
Number 7
Number
there.
7 there.
Yeah.
Jaden Brown, we definitely want to give you your credit, young man, because you had him blanketed right there. Even though he had the safety help over the top, that was one of those where Malachi is probably trying to force it a little bit. 2nd and 10 for the Titans. Go power off the left side, and they got some room in the amazing blocking. A little bit too good.
Yeah, when it's too good, usually comes back as a holding penalty against Frontier here.
Yeah, and that's a tough hold, you know, because in a situation like that, you already had what you wanted at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
I mean, but as a wide receiver, you can't see through your back of your head, so you just trying to do the best you can. But you guys always told us, if you got a hold, just let them go. I mean, who has to hold when you had Steve Walford, though? Trips open for Frontier. 2nd and forever. Single high safety for Independence. Now they're bringing some pressure, and they got a man wide open, and that's going to be P.I. Oh, and tough, unfortunate situation for Jaden Brown, as all he had to do was turn around and try to play the ball, and he might have had a pick.
You saw that one high. They were in man. They were in single high, so they had cover 1, which is one safety playing the whole field, and everybody else manned up.
Yeah, and they run that, like you said, too, Coach. You try to man up on them. Statler sees it. He audibles out of what they call, and then they run that rub route, and that's how you get that separation. And that's just an unfortunate circumstance for Independence when you had them in 2nd and 20. And that's an extremely long conference. Oh, and it's a roughing the passer on the backside that we didn't even see, Coach. So that's pick your poison. That's going to be 1st and 10 regardless. So, wow, you know, talk about kicking yourself in the leg for Independence. You have them at 2nd and 20. You make a devastating penalty from the roughing perspective. You know, from the PI perspective, it's just a situation where you got to play the football.
Yeah. That gives Frontier 1st and 10. They're into Independence territory. They're leading 7-zip.
Stadler drops back the pass. He escapes the pocket, makes another amazing move, and across the 40 is still on his feet. And oh my goodness, we thought he was just a passer, Coach.
Nice little power run right there. He gained about 13 on there. Good enough for a 1st down.
That is the end of the 1st quarter. Frontier Titans playing some amazing football, up 7-0. We have an Independence Falcon down on the field, so we'll take a break and come back with more Kern High Network football right after this. All right, welcome back to the Frontier Titans versus Independence Falcons. Titans up 7-0. Coach, what's your quick analysis over that first quarter?
Well, I tell you what, Independence played much better than I thought they would. Frontier's doing what they do. Nickel and dime you, then they'll chunk play you with a big play, and that's how they scored. So we'll see here. They've got a 1st and 10 on about the 33-yard line going in.
They go motion, and that's a lateral right there on the swing pass.
What a nice play by, looks like number 3 there for Independence. Anthony Rico.
Absolutely, Coach. I mean, we started the game talking about Prince Ellis just based on our excitement and personal connections. But Anthony Rico's looked very well on both sides of the football, along with Richard Gooden as well. Huge opportunity for Independence to try to stop this momentum of Frontier, because they get another touchdown right here. It's going to be hard to come back when you're not a team that's known for spreading it out and passing it.
Yeah.
That's the Falcons.
Frontier's in about 3rd and 7 now, long 6, short 7. Independence doing a good job against the run inside the tackles against Frontier. Now they go back to empty, so that's where they've had their best success.
Yeah, Malachi Stadler takes the snap, and he's got a one-on-one matchup. His man got a step, and that's some good defense, but it's caught anyway. Touchdown, Titans.
And that was Tapia, number 14 for Independence. Again, forcing Independence to go man coverage, and they can't match up 5 wide against Frontier.
Jaden Brown had pretty good coverage, Coach. He was within 1 step, but that was just an amazing ball right where it needed to be.
Yeah, Mason Tapia, their leading receiver going into the game. 21 catches already this season.
Mason Tapia putting in work. Kick is up. The kick is good. Frontier Titans up 14-0 over the Independence Falcons. We'll take a quick break and be right back with more Kern High Network football. Oh, it looks like we're going to stay here. It looks like we have a penalty. We'll check with the white hat. And that looked like it was very late, Coach. I didn't see that. Oh, and it's going to be waved off. So we will take that break and be back right after this.
We all come from different backgrounds and practice different traditions, but we belong to one humanity. At Valley Strong Credit Union, we care deeply about the communities where we live and serve. That's why over the past 80 years, we've donated.
All right, we are back after the short break. Frontier Titans looking like they mean business. Coach, we talked about how tough Independence looked early, but if you're not getting those conversion opportunities and you're turning it over, this is what ends up happening.
That's right. You've got to take, when you get the ball, you've got to make long drives. You've got to keep the ball out of Frontier's hands.
Amazing coverage by the Frontier Titans. And that's going to be 1st and 10 for Independence after the catch and the sky kick. You know, Independence, I got to ask you, Coach, 10:55 to play in this second quarter. You definitely want to get something on the board. What's your approach right now?
Well, again, you can't let Frontier have the ball. They're 2 for 2. 2 drives, 2 scores. So you've got a nickel and diamond, and you can't sell out to the pass as of yet.
Right.
Even though they did complete that for a first down. What you don't want to do is put it all on Prince to go back there, pass, or scramble, because although he can do it, he can't do it for the entire game.
Right, and you can't have a 1-on-11 situation.
Yeah.
And I think even in that pass, it was a situation where they send in their guys straight down the field so they can create those short opportunities. Yeah. That was a great setup by Shahabel. 1st and 10. And that's caught.
Wow.
Amazing catch by Amarius Rowell.
Pass complete to number 11. Amarius Rowell brought down by number 32, Dante Morrissey.
Frontier's got guys outside that can play. They got some playmakers out there.
Absolutely, and I'm wondering if Amarius Rowell is the younger son of Andre Rowell, who had the son Adarius Rowell, who was an amazing Renegade receiver a couple years ago. So we're hearing these names, and it's starting to get a little familiar on the independent side, but amazing penetration by the Titans. Oh, and now we have a late flag, and that might be targeting, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh. And it's going to be against Frontier, a 15-yard penalty. That's going to give them a first down and move that down to about the 25.
So, Coach, I missed the call. Okay, so it's personal foul, targeting, exactly. And that's a tough situation because it's such close quarters that you got guys just flying around trying to make a tackle. And that's unfortunate for the Titans, as it was a great job in the backfield.
And one thing I've seen so far into week 5 here is how many flags have we seen picked up and disregarded this whole year?
Oh, man, that's what got me in trouble last week. What I was telling you on the break. They waved off about 3 of them in that game last week against the Renegades, but nonetheless, I'm not going to make any bids with the officials this week. I learned my lesson. 1st and 10. Independence. Oh, and Prince is scrambling for his life.
He's got number 3 there. Oh. He had Rico open on the crosser.
Coach, correct me if I'm wrong. It looked like a jailbreak screen, how the defensive line came across.
And we've got a hold against Frontier.
Wow. So fortunate turn of events for Independence Falcons with 9:09 to play on Kern High Network. Kenny Calvin and Rick Van Horn.
And that's going to move it up for another first down.
Wow, so maybe that was the break that they needed.
Well, we always talk about those hidden yardage, special teams, and penalties.
Trips open set for Ellis. And he just has no time.
Oh.
And that's one of the tough things that happens, Coach, when you do start trying to just drop back and pass it all the time and you're not built for that.
Right.
Just no time. Great defense by the Titans.
That was about a 6-yard loss for Independence. It brings up a 2nd and about 16.
Yeah, and you want to throw it, but you just can't do it when your quarterback, they're back there before the ball gets back there, and he's in shotgun.
Come on, Titans, get up and stomp your feet. Get loud.
Nice tackle inside by the Titans.
Yeah, number 8, Heredia for the Titans. That's going to bring up a 3rd and about 14.
.8:12 to play. We have a timeout on the field. And that gives us the opportunity to thank our sponsors at Valley Strong Credit Union, as well as our staff down at the Kern High School Superintendent's Office, and all the amazing jobs they do down there. Titans holding on to a 14-point lead over the Independence Falcons. Independence came out very strong on their opening drive with a surprise at quarterback in Prince Ellis, but they haven't been able to convert once they get into the opponent's end of the field. And now with a 3rd and 15, this is going to be a huge conversion opportunity for both teams, because if Frontier, if you can get this stop, this might turn it into an early night.
Good. The good thing about Independence is they haven't gone a 3-and-out yet. They've been getting some first downs on every drive. And here we go. Almost another one. That's going to bring up about a 4th and 4. And I got a chance. It looks like they're going to go for it.
It looked like they caught that, Coach. So now there's going to be about a 4th and about
4.
4.
And they're going to go for it.
At the 14-yard line.
Trips open set for Ellis. And again, you got movement.
Wow, that's almost. You see Prince Ellis he's very animated in that. That's going to come back and haunt him, because pretty soon they're going to say, wait a minute, he's drawing us off sides.
Yeah, and that's what some of the defenders are saying right now, and they're waving that flag off, and they're going to replay that down based on what you just said, Coach.
That's right. You can flash your hands, but you can't flash your whole body like he's doing.
Yeah, it was a quarterback over there in the Midwest that's famous for that. I won't say his name because he's got a lot of bad press going on right now.
Well, you know who did it even better than him is, of course, Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
that's
we're not talking about Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
We're talking about
yeah, Aaron's slate is clean right now.
Yeah.
High snap. And Ellis is going to keep it. And he has just enough.
I don't think he got it.
Uh-oh. Let's see,
it's
Coach.
Gonna
it's
be
close. Let's pull
well,
out
he
the
got
chains.
it. They gave it to him.
Ooh, it was close, though. If you're the defense, you might be asking for a measurement on that. But they giving it to him, Coach. That's going to be 1st and goal right at the 10. Ooh. Beautiful night.
Now we're getting into football weather.
Absolutely.
And then when you get into football weather, that's when you see the people come out. And that's why we've got a packed house tonight.
Oh, yeah, we had to park across town. Ellis on the keeper, and he has room and blocking up front. And that's going to be taken down about the 3-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and goal for the Falcons, and they not done yet, Coach.
Like I said, Prince Ellis gives them a whole new look and a whole new outlet on the season coming up.
Oh, yeah, and it's just such excitement based on the fact that, you know, I know some viewers and listeners are like, why do you keep talking about these names? Well, some of these are household names. They've earned the right to be talked about, and you're seeing it tonight. And that's handed off on the power, and welcome to the show.
Anthony Rico.
Oh, my goodness. Anthony Rico, we talked about how effective he's been, but that was just a character drive by the Falcons.
Yeah, and that was helped out quite a bit by penalties from the Frontier defense.
Great point, Coach, because that's one thing we haven't seen a lot of from Frontier, a lot of sloppy play.
Yeah.
You know, and you can't give an underdog those opportunities.
And what you can't do when you're playing Frontier, especially this year, you can't trade field goals for touchdowns.
Absolutely. So got a touchdown by the Falcons. High snap. Kick is up. Kick is good by Daniel Smith, and we have a 14-7 game as the Independence Falcons say, don't pluck my feathers just yet. So, Coach, let's talk about some of the other matchups that we have going on around the town as I pull out my Palm Pilot.
Well, I know one you've got up north.
Oh, yeah, the
You've
big
got,
dogs.
You got number 1 Buchanan against number 3 San Joaquin Memorial.
Oh, that's a nice one.
The winner of that will come out as number 1 in the Valley. You've got Bakersfield High against Clovis North.
The Drillers are at home. You got Liberty at Central. That's another big one.
Another big one.
You got Sanger at Centennial. Stockdale at Diamante. You got Porterville at Highland. You got one of my former DBs, Keith Thompson, coaching for Porterville, coming to town to face Juarez in Highland. Keith was an amazing defensive back coach. You would have loved him. And you saw him play. You definitely saw him play. He was a renegade defensive back when I was up there coaching. Love seeing our guys transition into the coaching realm as we get back to Independence versus Frontier. That's taken at the 5, and he has a wide open lane. Hurdles one. And he's going to be down at the 29. And that's Devin Cochran.
Devin Cochran. Good return. Brings the ball out to the 29 with 5:51 left in the second quarter. Frontier up 14-7.
Well, this is a homecoming battle, Coach, and this is a beautiful crowd that we got. Got about 10,000 cheerleaders on the track.
Yeah.
Shotgun spread set for Malachi Pfeiffer, 40 even front against that single high safety look for Independence. And we have another penalty.
It's going to be against Frontier. Illegal procedure.
So, Coach, one of the things you talked about last week that got my blood going, Tehachapi versus Arvin might be a good contest tonight. You know, because Tehachapi's been playing pretty well.
I don't know how good it will be because Tehachapi's on a roll.
Right.
And those Arvin Bears they've got it in for them tonight. I tell you, they got everything they want against that Tehachapi Warrior team.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait to get that score. Let's send some. Who got my updates? As we get the power, and that's going to be about a 3 to 4 yard gain. No, he just gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that was Kai Rodriguez on the carry with 5:35 to play. And Frontier right here, you don't necessarily want to get too conservative. And now,
yeah, if you're Frontier, you don't want to score too fast. You're going to go ahead and drive. You got 5:22 left in this second quarter.
Oh, and that's a nice catch. Oh, and way to finish the run. Cochran with back-to-back catches.
Yeah.
Or back-to-back plays going to Cochran. But how did he finish that run, Coach? He made that safety pay for it. And here comes that tempo. Black empty set for Malachi. And he goes right back to the same play, and across the 40. Great block, and that's going to be another move across the 20. One man to beat, and he doesn't, and that's going to be tackled by Anthony Rico with some amazing effort because that was almost to the house.
Giving those receivers a lot of room out there, almost too much room. If you're going to get beat me on top, not underneath.
Absolutely, because they went right back to it.
They went right back to him. That cornerback's off about 10 yards, giving that receiver a lot of room out there.
Well, as soon as we talked about can't get conservative, they went nitro, and now you got them spread out. More than likely going to be an RPO read zone inside. But not when you're the Titans. You're throwing it right back. Getting a little greedy right there.
Don't dip into the well too much.
Woo!
You know.
And that play right there was a perfect example of a pro-style NFL offense, Coach, because how many times do you see an NFL team come out inside the 3,
And
go
run the
shotgun,
slant.
trips open, and run a slant or a fade on the backside?
Yeah.
We have a timeout on the field.
Well, that's when the head coach has got to kind of rein that offensive coordinator in. Let's say, let's go.
Absolutely, and they
Get it to
definitely
our
do.
guys.
And that's probably why they
53.
didn't do it, Coach. Probably why they running spread, because Isaac Leal. Oh no, that was Xavier Campos. Whoa. Campos is wide as all outside, ladies and gentlemen. We don't have weights on the roster, but I can tell you this kid is probably about 360. Frontier right back at the line, empty set. Oh, and that's caught, and that's going to be a touchdown.
That's the freshman,
Titans.
Kobe Watson.
Wow.
We hadn't seen too much of him up until this play, but we've seen him before.
Coach, I got to tell you, man, there's some weapons out on the field for both of these teams on the edge. Like, we don't get to hear enough about the talent that's at a lot of these schools until we get to come and watch them play. But I'm definitely impressed by the skill level of all of the skill players I'm seeing on both sides of the football. Amazing catch by Kobe Watson.
Freshman
getting his money. Kick is up. Kick is good, and the Titans go up 21-7. They answer the Independence touchdown. We have another penalty.
Yeah, we've got,
roughing the kicker.
Against Independence.
So that's going to be.
That should come off on the kickoff.
Yes, they will be assessing that on the kickoff. So the Independence Falcons with a tough uphill battle, trailing 21-7, and they've played somewhat very well in this first half, but still find themselves trailing because I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if you like offensive football, spread football, the ball in the air a lot, you need to come out and see this young man, Malachi Stadler, man. This dude is amazing. And I'm not saying that just because he follows me on Instagram since our first game. So we want to thank our boss, Stan Green, for assisting us with our audio. You know, and I'll be honest, Stan, I might have had my mic a little bit far away from my mouth as well. So Dr. J got me tightened up. Hopefully I'm helping that with the volume. But we got a great game going. And I'm seeing some amazing individual effort by a few guys, but this Titans team look well balanced. They're getting it everywhere they want. And it's not like they're getting it against cake defense because the coverage is there. It's just some amazing plays being made. And that's going to be taken at the 10. And does he have a wedge? He does not. Gets it out to the 20. And that's going to be 1st and 10 for the Falcons.
What the Falcons don't want to do here is turn it over on downs or even turn it over here. Still 3:45 left in the second quarter.
Absolutely. And speaking of time running out in the first half, I want to make sure I give some love to the Independence coaching staff since we highlighted the other coaching staff. Head coach Tyler Shahabel, Nick Gospich, Keith Luttrell, David Shahabel, and Gilbert Varela. You guys are doing a fantastic job. Now you got Prince Ellis in this double set and running for his life again. He's been basically running for his life every snap when he attempts to pass. And that's based on this amazing pressure that you're getting from this defensive line of the Frontier Titans. And that time you had Ethan Atkins again. This kid, he's living in the backfield right now.
Pass called incomplete.
Just amazing individual effort by Prince Ellis to get the ball out for an incomplete pass. to where he's not losing any yards. But right now, with 3:40 to play in this first half, you want to make sure you're not making any mistakes down on your own end.
Good job by Frontier defense there. It's going to bring up about a third and about 8.
Is it on?
On the tackle, number 7, Brady Durkin. And number 30, Isaac
So
Cole.
very crucial 3rd and 8 for Independence.
Yeah, like I said, you don't want to go 3 and out in this and give the ball back to Frontier with 3:14 left.
Absolutely right, Coach, and that's why they're letting this clock chop, because if they don't get this, you want as little time as possible on that clock. And this is another situation where you want to try to put the ball in Prince's hands, but as a line, if you're not going to protect them, you guys got to figure out other ways to get people involved. 3rd and 7, and they jump again.
So that's going to be about a 3rd and 2 now
And it's
for
and
Independence.
it looked like Atkins, Coach. I mean, this is the 5th time in the first half, young man, and sooner or later you got to know what's coming on a 3rd and long.
Yeah, you do, because Prince, he'll use it. He's going with the same play.
Now he actually has some time. Oh, and that's right behind him. And that's going to bring up a 4th and 7. And that might have been his best protection.
Well, it was a 3-step drop, so Frontier didn't have a lot of time to get to him. This is going to be crucial here. It looks like they're going for it. Now, again, like you said a couple of minutes ago, if you're Frontier defense, do not jump.
Right. Because that may be all they're trying to do.
But if you're Independence, you don't want to turn the ball over and give Frontier the ball on the 29-yard line.
Right. Now, understand that this isn't league play, specifically being that they're in different leagues. So I'm not sure why they went for it, but they get it. And that's some amazing blocking on the edge. And Coach Shahabel is probably like, hey, we didn't get to the state championships by punting it when we down 14 points.
Yeah,
Gutsy call.
Richard Gooden.
No,
Who's had a good night tonight.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth, Coach. I was just about to say how impressed I am with not just number 1, but 2 and 3 as well. They've done a great job providing some balance to the offense. Trips open set for Independence. Quick screen out right. Oh, an amazing pursuit and play in the backfield.
Bryson Tablet on that one.
Nice play by Bryson Tablet. You know, one of the things that makes you a successful screen defender, and this is what you guys taught us, is your eyes. You have to trust your eyes. He did a great job of trusting his eyes and just flying to color, you know, as that ball went out. Amazing job inside out.
And they've ran that play about 3 times, Independence has, so you know what's coming off that.
Now to go jet sweep. Wow, we got a flag inside.
Looks like a face mask on Frontier.
And I'm not going to say I was hoping for that, Coach, but I was about to say I didn't see a hold. So I was hoping it wasn't a hold. And you got great eyes, Coach. I told you I need glasses. You got yours on.
It's going to bring up a first down for Independence. 1:18 left in this second quarter.
Exactly what you need if you're Independence. You know, nice lucky breaks. Starting to find ways to get passes off. Prince Ellis with a trips open set in the pistol formation.
Got single coverage down here.
Oh, and he throws a duck. And this almost caught.
Almost that behind the shoulder catch. I don't know if he meant to do that.
Yeah, but once again, though, Coach, nice pressure off the edge by the Frontier defensive line, and he just had to get that up, especially with the left hand. He's coming right in your face. It's not like the blind side when you're a right-hander. He had to stare that down and may have got a little piece of that. Great defense by Frontier. We haven't talked much about their linebackers or their secondary. Their defensive line is playing a heck of a football game up front. Second and 10. Oh, amazing play in the backfield, and oh my goodness, talk about trusting your eyes on the screenplay.
Give me a number.
Wow. Landon Heredia with the amazing tackle. That almost looked like Derwin James slamming Kelsey the other night.
You know, the one thing we haven't, last time we had these guys a couple weeks ago, we were just, Appleton and Moon were the guys on defense.
Oh, right off the face mask, incomplete.
Was that Rico? Yeah. Man. You let that one hit you right in the mouth.
Well, Coach, one of the things that we haven't talked about being a difference from a left-hand quarterback and a right-hand quarterback is the spin of the ball.
Spinning the ball if you're a receiver. And it is a little different, you know.
Because he zipped that right there, through the face. 4th and 11. Ellis drops back, scrambles right. Has a man. Oh, big hit. And that's going to be caught. And it's going to be flags, and Ellis is down, but he's looking like he's going to get up. And that might be roughing the passer, but amazing job by Ellis keeping his eyes downfield because it was going to be a first down anyway. Now they're going to tack that on, right, Coach? Or they're going to.
They may decline it here. Nope, it's going to be tacked on top of the play. 17 seconds left.
So we were a little confused about that. And they are going to tack it on because sometimes it depends on exactly when it happened. And it looked like it was so late that they're tacking it on as a dead ball, roughing the passer.
Independence first down on the 16-yard line.
Amazing job by Prince Ellis extending the play and keeping his eyes downfield. 1st and 10 for the Falcons. Oh, and they got the swing route and just over the outstretched hand
of Gooden. If he catches that, he's got room to run there.
Woo!
You know, if your Frontier's defense, it's almost better to have a mush rush, what they call a mush rush, against a quarterback like Prince Ellis, who's so mobile, who's so fast, that once you get up the field, you create lanes, and he lives off those.
Absolutely. 2nd and 10, 13 seconds left right here, Coach. Now is when it gets really tricky because you can stop the clock with a first down, but they're going to start it right after that completion.
You got some single coverage out there.
Ellis rolls left, and he has a man. Oh, great defense on the play. And that was Malcolm Watkins on the coverage. Great job extending at the highest point.
Actually, if Prince would have tucked that, he had room to run there.
Right. You got to wonder if he was questioning the clock, but it looks like they still have one timeout left. So that would have been a great decision for him to go ahead and get as much as he could because he might have went in on that, Coach. Nonetheless.
They've got the ball on the 8-yard line, 7 seconds left.
High snap. Ellis around the left, and he's going right out of bounds. And that, I was about to say that was extremely late. And that's going to be a first down, but it's only 1 second left, so it's going to be half the distance and a first down for Independence.
It sure is, and they're going to have one play left.
And it definitely was late.
Well, you're seeing Frontier giving up a lot of hidden yardage we talk about. We had the roughing the passer here after the catch.
All the encroachments.
Offsides. And now a late hit.
Yeah, I mean, and that's ways where you can keep a undermanned team in the football game by those hidden yards. And, Coach, I got to tell you, I had my buddy Renegade Rob Chavez on our broadcast last week, and I reminded him that, you know, usually what drives us crazy is the people not catching punts, right? But we started noticing the hidden yardage. Just the phrase of hidden yardage stuck out in my head all broadcast, and you start to calculate it. It's almost like you got your calculator out, taking account of all the hidden yards that turn into lost opportunities or gained opportunities.
Yeah. 35 yards off this drive alone have been free yardage for Independence from penalties from Frontier.
Absolutely. So huge one-play opportunity.
1 second left. Ball's on the 5-yard line. So I'm assuming Prince Ellis is going to have something to do with this. Maybe a rollout here to the right.
Oh, and they hand it off, and that's not going to get it. But he's raced to the pylon, and great defense by Frontier. And that's amazing job by the Frontier defense with the goal line stands, and they will go into the half up 21 over the Independence Falcons 7.
That looked like Appleton there, number 2. We haven't called his name too much, but we were calling his name quite a bit last time.
Right, he was our player of the game last time we saw those guys, but tough task for Independence. And that's going to be a halftime lead for the Titans, 21-7.
We all come from different backgrounds and practice different traditions, but we belong to one humanity. At Valley Strong Credit Union, we care deeply about the communities where we live and serve. That's why over the past 80 years, we've donated and invested millions of dollars into various partnerships, nonprofits, and businesses in Kern County. And as we continue to grow, we remain rooted here in our community. Valley Strong. Grow your possibilities.
It's wicked cool. It's our new aviation class. It gives kids a chance to break into the industry. There's a lot of careers in aviation. This class is a lot more than just flying planes.
We've learned so much already. We've learned how to take off. We've learned instrument flight rules. It's something everyone can do, I think.
cockpit. And you see, remember that horizon? Try to keep it parallel to your cockpit. After the 2-year program, they're going to be able to take the knowledge test for their private pilot exam. I am a pilot. I've been in Bakersfield for 10 years. I worked as an instructor for 6 years and then became a corporate pilot. And I'm a teacher here. We have amazing equipment. Even flight schools don't have that much equipment.
You put a class like this somewhere at North High, and it's really preparing kids to succeed because it gives them a whole new set of opportunities they never knew that they had the chance to pursue. I'm proud to say that I'm from North High School and that we have administration that's willing to put the money into offering really, really neat programs like this and preparing kids to succeed.
A lot of more hands-on activities, a lot more about woodworking and what to do, how to make a career for myself.
It's not only for guys. I am actually learning how to make cupboards and put everything together, like doors, cabinets. It's really fun, actually.
Yeah, well, it's really amazing to see their growth over the course of a year and how they can come in with no real skill at all and leave being able to actually produce furniture and cabinetry.
Houses need cabinets, businesses. Having a pool of resources or kids that have some knowledge in the industry would be real good.
Pull down on that. Let's slide these up. Watch fingers.
It's changed a lot. What I'm seeing here is what it's going towards. The CNC equipment, computers. I could actually build cabinets out of this shop. It's state of the art. It really is.
I am constantly looking for students that have been through these programs. It's always nice to have a person that has some experience. It's a lot easier to train. I think we're fortunate in Bakersfield that the Kern High School District has invested in a program like this. I would encourage other businesses to partner up with the Kern High School District like I've done here, because this really shows you what can be done if business comes together with the Kern High School District.
This is where we're going to train the kids to actually get jobs in the industry. We're going to give them the basic tools that they need, also the skills that they need to understand where they fit into the industry.
All the animated things, because we have everything that we need in the scenes.
They are learning the principles of animation, Photoshop. They're learning how to animate in 2D and 3D. And when you swap to that shape, then you're just going to drag these over here.
The storyboard aspect of creating basically the skeleton of the story, and then just sort of directing people in my vision of what I want in the story. And it's also giving me the advantage of Mr. Pollard, since he's worked at so many companies, being able to put it in my resume and be like, this is the art direction I've received.
I was shearing my lamb for fair. I have 2 lambs.
This lamb is stubborn.
Taking care of animals is you feed them twice a day, make sure they have water, walk them, make sure they're ready for fair.
Vet science is the first year before you can actually go into animal science, and it's a lot of like hands-on with the different animals, and you get to learn different things such as giving shots, castrating, all that fun stuff. For me, wanting to be a vet when I'm older, it helped prepares me. All the stuff that I'm learning in ag is definitely going to help me.
I'm in ag communications. Anything that you see on the Facebook page is what we do, and pictures, and we do all the posters that are around campus, anything that just promotes ag.
Our students are all part of the FFA organization, and through that we have a chapter officer team. We do monthly chapter meetings because we're trying to get them involved outside of class. So they can find something that they're interested in, and they need something that's going to hook them so that they're ready for life after high school.
In animal care, the students learn a variety of things, whether it's tools or terms. In the veterinary field, they learn about the skeletal systems, animal nutrition, the housing, how to properly care for them. They also have the opportunity in the spring to actually go work at a veterinary hospital or at an animal shelter or a grooming salon.
Animal restraint, weight and temperature, pulse, respiration, all of that I learned here.
They take a state certified test, and if they pass, they become a certified vet assistant right out of high school.
It's always hands-on, and so I think that's what really helps us is that we're not just getting it from a textbook, we're actually doing these things, and we're actually practicing these things that we'll be doing in our future careers.
It's wicked cool. It's our new aviation class. It gives kids a chance to break into the industry. There's a lot of careers in aviation. This class is a lot more than just flying planes.
We've learned so much already. We've learned how to take off. We've learned instrument flight rules. It's something everyone can do, I think.
Good. And you see, remember that horizon? Try to keep it parallel to your cockpit. After the 2-year program, they're going to be able to take the knowledge test for their private pilot exam. I am a pilot. I've been in Bakersfield for 10 years. I worked as an instructor for 6 years and then became a corporate pilot. And I'm a teacher here. We have amazing equipment. Even flight schools don't have that much equipment.
You put a class like this somewhere at North High, and it's really preparing kids to succeed because it gives them a whole new set of opportunities they never knew that they had a chance to pursue. I'm proud to say that I'm from North High School and that we have administration that's willing to put the money into offering really, really neat programs like this and preparing kids to succeed.
We're in manufacturing engineering. We design parts, 3D parts, 2D parts, we create assemblies.
It's helping me get training and all of this stuff, like the computer programs that we have here, the machines that we have here. We learn a lot of math in here, mostly geometry and fractions, because I love math. That's why I'm in this class.
Mr. Lemmy, he's a great instructor.
So the problem is this piece itself.
He really goes hands-on with us. He helps us as much as we can. We've learned a lot from him.
Right now we're supplying students that are skilled in the safety, basic operation of machine work, and then they also leave with some soft skills. They understand they have to be on time. They understand that they have to get up and talk to people. Most of them are walking out of here with a solid foundation in the entry level of a trade.
They can have a job anywhere they go because they have a basic understanding of what it's going to take to put products out that people are going to use.
Hopefully this is a good career for me. End up doing something good, have a good life, and make some money.
Well, we're learning a lot, and especially with just the basic knowledge of what you would need for an entry-level job.
All the basic skills to be a medical assistant in a doctor's office or a clinic.
You're leaning on it, and that'll make a difference.
And then they also do on-the-job training, and they work in doctor's offices or clinics throughout Kern County. The kids are job ready, and many of them are employed before the end of the school year. They're promised a job, as well as they continue their education. We have many registered nurses out there and even physicians.
I'm thinking I want to be an anesthesiologist. So a lot of school, but it'll be worth it in the end. Right now we're learning the different roles, what a game designer is, what they do, and how video games are made, and how to deconstruct them.
We're also going to be teaching the hard skills, which includes learning the Unreal Engine. And what the Unreal Engine is it's a game development tool that students will be able to use to make their very own video games. And this is something that actually industry professionals use every day to make some of the top-selling games. They're all the same size. You're all on the same plane. There's no undulating terrain or anything like that.
Our instructor, he's really amazing. He encourages everybody. He's really fun, and he makes learning fun.
So they've got top-of-the-line computers here, and they're set up to excel. I would be surprised if other students their age coming out of high school would have anywhere near the level of expertise that these guys are going to have.
A lot of more hands-on activities, a lot more about woodworking and what to do, how to make a career for myself.
It's not only for guys. I am actually learning how to make cupboards and put everything together, like doors, cabinets. It's really fun, actually.
Yeah, well, it's really amazing to see their growth over the course of a year and how they can come in with no real skill at all and leave being able to actually produce furniture and cabinetry.
Houses need cabinets, businesses having a pool of resources or kids that have some knowledge in the industry would be real good.
Pull down on that. Let's slide these up. Watch fingers.
It's changed a lot. What I'm seeing here is what it's going towards. The CNC equipment, computers. I could actually build cabinets out of this shop. It's state of the art. It really is.
I am constantly looking for students that have been through these programs. It's always nice to have a person that has some experience. It's a lot easier to train. I think we're fortunate in Bakersfield that the Kern High School District has invested in a program like this. I would encourage other businesses to partner up with the Kern High School District like I've done here, because this really shows you what can be done if business comes together with the Kern High School District.
We all come from different backgrounds and practice different traditions, but we belong to one humanity. At Valley Strong Credit Union, we care deeply about the communities where we live and serve. That's why over the past 80 years, we've donated and invested millions of dollars into various partnerships, nonprofits, and businesses in Kern County. And as we continue to grow, we remain rooted here in our community. Valley Strong. Grow your possibilities.
Welcome back to Frontier High School, Kern High Network action. Frontier just had an amazing homecoming ceremony, followed by an amazing presentation by the band. But we're looking forward to some amazing football with Kenny Calvin, Rick Van Horn, and Dr. Julian Wilson. More tightly contested contest than we expected Independence still in this football game. We'll be back with more Kern High Network action right after this.
We all come from different backgrounds and practice different traditions, but we belong to one humanity. At Valley Strong Credit Union, we care deeply about the communities where we live and serve. That's why over the past 80 years, we've donated and invested millions of dollars into various partnerships, nonprofits, and businesses in Kern County. And as we continue to grow, we remain rooted here in our community. Valley Strong. Grow your possibilities.
Welcome back to Kern High Network Football. Kenny Calvin, Rick Van Horn, Dr. Julian Wilson on Kern High Network. I want to thank our sponsors at Valley Strong Credit Union, as well as our staff down at the Kern High School Superintendents. Special thanks to Stan Green and the rest of our staff down there at the Kern High School District that put on all these amazing events. I want to thank the Frontier staff and administration for making us feel at home. And the kick is up. And that's going to be taken at the 10-yard line. And this young man took one to the house against the Drillers, and he was one step away from doing it again.
John Appleton. We didn't talk too much about him until that last series there on defense.
Yeah, he's one of the most explosive players on the field as well, and that just goes to show how much talent they have, because he was actually part of the offense during that Driller game as well.
He was a two-way guy last time we saw him.
Black empty set for Malachi Statler. Pressure off the edge, and they got a man wide open. And that's going to be 1st and 10.
Always tough to guard 3 receivers with only 2 defenders.
Absolutely. You know, that black empty set causes so many matchups for a good defense. When you got holes in your defense, this exposes you. 1st and 10, Titans. Pressure off the backside, and they got another man wide open, and it's the running back, Samuel Marquez, still on his feet across the 30.
This is a big series for Independence. If they let Frontier go down and score now, go up 28-7, they're in a world of hurt.
Absolutely, because we talked about how tough it's been for them to try to do anything in the passing game without being able to protect the quarterback.
That's right.
1st and 10. Late substitution. Oh, and now a nice move, and still on his feet, making a miss. Wow. How old is he, Coach?
Malcolm Watkins, freshman.
Wow.
5'10", 163.
Special plays being made by some playmakers, and the Titans coming out clicking on all cylinders. Statler drops back. Oh, and nearly picked off in his first errant throw of the game, Coach.
Yeah, it was. Should have been picked off by 13 there for Independence.
Woo, and those are the kind of plays you got to come up with, Jonathan Rico, if you want to make a difference. Now we have a timeout on the field. That gives us time to thank Principal Vicki Thompson, AP of Instruction Brian Easter, AP of Administration Jennifer Mattern, Athletics Director Mike Gibson, Athletics Activities Director Lynette Cornford, and I'm also going to thank my cousin Daniel Calvin down there working security, man. You know, can't do a broadcast and reference my cousin Daniel without giving one more time to my late Uncle Manuel Calvin, one of the Kern County's most explosive athletes in the 70s. He was born in 76. Senior in 76. I was born in 76, his senior year, and we share the same birthday. We miss you, Uncle Manuel.
Graduated in 76.
Yeah, he graduated in 76, and then I came about 3 weeks later.
2nd and 10 for Frontier. Third quarter, 10:42 left in this third quarter. Empty set again.
They're picking them apart as they go to the flats. Great pursuit by Independence. Like you said, Coach, it's going to be a pressure experience for them right now.
If you're actually Independence, you're going to give them that route there. That was the shortest route of all the receivers there. Go ahead and give them that, rally up, make the tackle. So that was actually about a 3-yard gain on that.
Great opportunity for Independence to try to keep them out of the end zone, but Stadler's been pretty on target. And he's back in that shotgun pro set. A rare running opportunity for a Titan running back, and that might, he let go right on time, and that was almost a horse collar, Coach.
I tell you what, that was a great play by Jay Blackett, number 4 for Independence.
Amazing play from the backside. So they're going to keep the offense out there in the Titans, looking to try to put this game away early with 9:33 to play in this third quarter. Going up 28-7 feels a lot better than 24-7. Bunch formation. They coming backside, and they go post corner. Oh, and the ball was right where it needed to be, but great breakup by the defensive back.
Intended for Watkins again, the freshman.
Yeah, and just an amazing play by number 13, Jonathan Rico. So we got the Rico brothers putting in some work out there for Independence, trying to keep themselves in the game.
You know, if you're Independence, next week you've got Highland, then you've got Bakersfield High, then you've got Ridgeview. Got a little breather there with Stockdale this year, and then finish up the year with Bakersfield Christian.
Wow.
So they've got a gauntlet they got to run these next 5 games.
Absolutely, and they might start with that great defense right there. If they can try to get something going on this drive, that defensive stop may be the stop of their season.
That could be the igniter, huh?
Absolutely. I mean, you stop a team like Frontier that's clicking on all cylinders.
And that was the key drive. You can't let Frontier come down in first quarter or third quarter, first drive, and score, because that would have put the game totally out of whack.
Yeah, absolutely. 2nd and 8 for Independence. Prince Ellis has had some bright spots. Trips open set against a 3-deep look for Frontier. Oh, and it's picked off. And that might be to the house. Oh, amazing play by Atkins. Ethan Atkins has been all over the field, and we talked about the explosiveness of his defensive line, and he makes the play of the game.
Gives Frontier the ball on the 7-yard line.
Just amazing awareness. You know, one of the things that defensive linemen are taught as they're pass rushing is if you can't get back there, trust your eyes. We've said that a few times tonight, right, ladies and gentlemen? Trust your eyes. He trusts his eyes and gets his hands up, and it's right into his chest. And he almost took that to the house. This young man is working on player of the game. Handoff inside. And that might be touchdown Titans. Wow, so the huge interception by Atkins after Independence got the stop they needed. Ellis, you know, that might be some of that rust that we expect from someone playing their first game of the season.
Yeah. And that was more of a great play from Atkins than it was a poor play from Ellis.
Great point, Coach, because that's one of those plays that you dream of, and you don't expect the ball to be intercepted when you're throwing it that hard, that short. So great point, as Atkins made a phenomenal play and put his team in a position to try to put this one away with 28-7. Frontier Titans up over the Independence Falcons. We'll take a quick break and be right back with more Current High Network football. We are back. Frontier with the amazing defensive play by Atkins leads to an offensive touchdown, and just at the wrong time for Independence because you get the stop that you need and you were down 14 points, but just an amazing play. And I'm glad Coach cleared that up as they go with the sky kick, because it definitely wasn't a horrible play by Ellis. But now they'll start off with field position at the 46-yard line.
George Pineda.
Big George trying to get his name in the paper. You know, and during the break, we did confirm that Amarius Rao is indeed the son of one of the greatest local athletes as well, and my man Andre Rao. So shout out to the Rao family. Those guys put out some amazing talent in receivers, man. What y'all got in that water over there in the Rao house? Trips open set. And just great defense inside by this defensive line. We talked about it time and time again. And once again, it's Atkins. This kid's everywhere.
Yeah. Like you said, he's working his way up that ballot for the player of the game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we didn't even give it to Malachi last time because Appleton had such a great game. Now Malachi Statler comes out and playing a great game, throwing touchdowns all over the place. He's about to get his player of the game stolen again by guys. Yeah. But that's a testament of how well balanced his team is. 1st and 10. Power to the left and another tough run, but great job getting what you can get, and that's a 5-yard gain, maybe 4. for the Falcons.
Richard Gooden for the Falcons.
And Gooden's been kind of quiet since early, Coach.
Yeah, he has, and it's just a matter of they haven't had a lot of time get him out in space because a lot of times Prince Ellis has been running for his life.
Yeah, Prince trying to do everything he can, but, as a quarterback, one thing you're going to know, you're only as good as the 7 guys in front of you or the 6 guys in front of you. And now you're seeing that athletic ability of Ellis as he gets it around for about a 5-yard gain.
That's going to bring up about a 4th and 2. So Independence has got a decision to make here.
Yeah.
Down 28-7.
And I think at this point, Coach, it's probably going to be a situation where every 4th down is a down where you're going to go for it unless you're way backed up. But they've done very well in 4th and short and 3rd and short. It's the passing downs that have given them most trouble because they just can't protect. And that's sometimes what's going to happen when you have a young offensive line up front. I don't mean to keep, kicking the guys while they're down, making mistakes.
Well, he's done much better, Ellis has, on straight dropbacks because now when he scrambles, he's got the whole field.
Yes, now they go that jet sweep again, and that's going to be a first down.
Yeah.
Yes.
Handoff to number 2, Richard Gooden.
There's Gooden again. Doing a great job. Independence, they go back and look at this film, Coach, and see some missed opportunities. They've had opportunities inside their own or inside the opponent's 30 and 20-yard line and not coming out with points in those experiences. That's how you can lose games to a good football team.
Well, I'm pretty sure we know Prince Ellis is a senior. We don't know what Richard Gooden is.
Right. We don't have the years of the students on our rosters. Feel free to inbox me that. Now we got Ellis in open field, and he's got some nice blocking on the outside, but that's a great tackle on the edge by Appleton.
On the quarterback keeper, number 1, Prince Ellis, brought down by number 2, John Appleton.
And now we're starting to hear Appleton's name.
Yeah, we are. Funny, he spent the whole halftime out here. He was one of the candidates for homecoming king.
Yep. We joked about how nervous I was 25 years ago winning Mr. BHS and how I played the worst first half of my high school career, stressing over homecoming king. 2nd and short. Nice job by Gooden. And it looks like they're intent on just trying to feed their running backs because they have some talent on the edge and in the backfield.
Yeah. Good enough for a first down.
First down Falcons at the tight 31-yard line.
No, Coach, another thing that we always talk about when things aren't working is just simplifying the process. It seems like that's what they're doing. A lot of the razzle-dazzle drop-back pass stuff hasn't worked well. Get back to just falling forward. And that's what they do again. Oh, amazing job finishing the run. Wow. Richard Gooden is showing out in the second half so far. Cooley took the brunt of that for us.
Jared Rashaw, number 12. Well, you also got to have a changeup. If you're Independence, you got to have a changeup. Things aren't working. You've got to have something. Pitchers don't throw you fastballs every pitch. You've got to come in. If they're hitting your fastball, you better have a curve and change up. And
so we got movement, and that gives us time to thank my man James Talking To, who's the dad of one of the Ridgeview players, but he's listening in and letting us know that Prince did get to play last week.
He did?
Yeah, he stated that he played last week against South High, so he was able to face his old team last week. And being that, neither of us were there, we appreciate you, James. Because we were actually over there watching James' son ball out last week.
That was a game Independence won last week over South High, 44-34.
Yeah, and that was a surprise.
That was kind of one of those Russell Wilson come back to Seattle or
Oh, amazing penetration by that defensive line, a host of Titan defenders. And let's see if we can get some license plates on those trucks out there, led by Eric De La Garza. Wow.
one thing if you're Frontier, you've got an offense that can move the ball. They've moved it against Hanford, Bullard, BHS, moving it out here against Independence. To make it deep into the playoffs, that defense has really got to anchor down and show you something.
Right.
That, if you want to, like I said, if you want to go deep in those playoffs, that defense has got to be able to travel.
Absolutely, Coach. Pistol doubles formation, and they finally don't jump on the hard count. Ellis drops back. Now he has a window, and he's going to make a move, and he makes the man miss. And, somebody needed to. I was about to say something. I ain't going to say that on the air, but he picked up his underwear. He just got shook out of him.
Broke some ankles out there.
Wow, that was an amazing move by Prince Ellis.
We got a flag.
Oh, and that has to be a dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct. And that is in the Independence huddle when no one is around. So as a coach, you got to be kicking yourself as Coach Shahable, like, what are you guys doing? We finally get a first down, and now we're right back behind the chains.
Now you're 1st and 25.
Wow. And I mean, the player in coaching me wants to say, well, hey, ref, I mean, it's just us over here. Can I express myself? But ultimately, you must have said something that warranted that flag because he tried to throw that up to hit that drone we saw earlier. He threw that so high. Wow, so it backs him up.
It takes that back. It was 1st and 10. They got the first down, so.
Wow. So it just cost them some field position, Coach. Yeah, and that's, when it rains, it pours, as they say. You're already facing a team that pretty much has weapons in every area on the offensive side of the football. And now you having opportunities and you got guys getting emotional when you're still in the football game. It's a 28-7 game in the third quarter. One good score right here. You're down 2 scores. But that's youth and inexperience where you see players making those mistakes.
And you've got Prince Ellis and Gooden can take the ball on any one play and take it to the house.
Ellis drops back to pass. Flushed out. Rolls left and stops back and brings it right. And he might take off now, ladies and gentlemen. He has a man. And I think he could have ran for the first down, but he tried to take a shot, and that's going to be incomplete.
But I tell you what, not many people can roll to your left, reverse your field, come all the way over to the right.
Oh.
Not many guys in town, and think Prince may be one of the only ones in town.
And he looked exactly like Michael Vick on that play, rolling left and scrambling back right. Sheesh, this kid is amazing.
3rd and about 8. 2:53 left in the third quarter.
And they got him again. Boy, you talking about running some laps and some gassers. We have gassers for days after all of these offsides penalties. And ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know what a gasser is, let me explain it to you. You line up on the sideline. You run over. You run back. You run over. You run back. 1.
And it's got to be under 50 seconds.
Oh, my goodness. You're talking about the worst form of punishment. I do not miss gassers. Pistol doubles formation for Ellis. He scrambles out again, makes a move.
Ooh.
Oh, my goodness, amazing move. Across the 30, and he throws a dart, and that's going to be caught. And that's that athleticism that we talked about, Coach. Break it down.
That looked like number 8 there. I tell you, what we tell you about when he drops straight back, Frontier is opening up a lot of lanes where he can take off like that. He actually did a good job, and what he's doing is being more of a quarterback now than we've seen him in the past, where he would scramble out. What would he do?
Take off.
He would take off. Now he's looking to pass the ball.
Very mature. Love the maturity I'm seeing out of Prince Ellis, and that's exactly what you highlighting right there. Because as you said, he dropped straight back. It wasn't really a whole bunch of lanes, but you see the lanes open up, and he makes 2 guys miss up the field. Last year, he's taken off, and he's probably going to run for about 15 yards. But that time, his maturity, he sees downfield, and he makes an amazing throw where only his guy can get it for the completion for the 15-yard pass. That was amazing. I know his dad looking down from the heavens on the anniversary of his death. Definitely want to say one more time, man, we miss you, LaKendrick Dion Ellis, man. That was my boy. One of my favorite things, Coach, to do when I would have their games and when we had Kings games, we would message each other before the games and just talk about the experience and how proud we were of the boys. So to see his son continuing his career gives me the ultimate goosebumps. And now he has an opportunity for 1st and 10, 2:32 to go. Still on his feet, and that's going to be touchdown Falcons.
You can't expect to contain him the whole game.
And that's that old single wing like you talked to me about last week,
right.
Coach.
That was just an old single wing quarterback sweep. Kind of a combination of the old Green Bay Packers where you're pulling everybody's out in front of the quarterback, and then let Prince do what he does.
Man, right on time too. We love highlighting these young athletes, love seeing them compete, but nothing like a story attached to effort. And great to see him back out on the field, continuing his career and trying to make a game out of this. Kick is up. And the kick is no good, so that's a huge miss with 2:24 to go in this third quarter. And we'll take another quick break and come back with more Kern High Network football right after this. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Kern High Network action live from Frontier High School. And Frontier is up 28-13, but Independence is not giving up. But they are kicking to one of the most dangerous guys in the building. His name is John Appleton, and he's across the 25 and down at the 27-yard line. And it's going to be 1st and 10 Titans.
Actually, that was Devin Cochran there.
Okay,
Number 16.
Gotcha. Cochran on a return. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen.
But we did have some laundry on the field. That's going to go against Frontier.
Cochran started off pretty hot as well, had a couple catches early.
He did. There for a while in that first half, penalties were 12-1 against Frontier. Frontier had 12 penalties to Independence 1.
All right, now truly a testament of why a team that's undermanned can stay with you. Now you got Malachi Statler, and that's a nice ball on the post. And he's getting everything he wants, but how about the route running by these young freshman receivers and Kobe Watson?
Yeah.
Wow.
And there was a lot of room there. Independence giving him a lot of room.
All right, he's being D'd up by Marshall Almonte. I'm not sure what year in school he is, but he's getting worked out tonight. Black empty set. Oh, he makes one miss, and across the 30. If he can make another miss, and that's going to be a first down reception.
What you're also seeing from Frontier is run after catch. You're seeing a lot of missed tackles by Independence. That initial tackler coming in there and missing, and these little receivers for Frontier getting yak yards.
Yeah, and Statler's getting everything he wants at this point. And they're not calling off the dogs, as one would say. They're up-tempo, playing with tempo as well as they go no huddle.
Well, if they're going to give you the slant, which they are, not so much in this defense, but on about 7 or 8 of the other ones.
Wow, and look at that pocket. And that's a nice ball again by Statler. And, oh, my goodness. We keep trying to give this player of the game away to other people, but as you see this quarterback and how calm he is in the pocket.
Yeah. Well, and one of the things we always say is you got to keep your quarterback clean.
Oh, my goodness.
And I tell you what, he's been very clean this game. I think the only time he's got tackles when he trucked a couple of Independence guys on a run.
Right. And if he executes this drive, I'm sorry, Mr. Atkins. Oh, and that was through the hands of a receiver. But basically the point that I'm getting to is Statler is making things look so easy. He's working himself back up the ranks towards that player of the game. But we have an injured Independence Falcon. We'll take a quick break and try to get a number and be back right after this.
We all come from different backgrounds and practice different traditions, but we belong to one humanity. At Valley Strong Credit Union, we care deeply about the communities where we live and serve. That's why over the past 80 years, we've donated and invested millions of dollars into various partnerships, nonprofits, and businesses in Kern County. And as we continue to grow, we remain rooted here in our community. Valley Strong. Grow your possibilities.
So that injured Falcon was Deion Johnson. His dad went to Bakersfield High with me and his cousins with.
Now you see this wide split by the Frontier receivers to spread that defense out. So you're either going to run the slant or you're going to spread them out and run the ball like they did.
Absolutely, Coach. Right on key. And now
I think what Frontier wants to do now is we know they can throw the ball against Independence. Can they run the ball against the big boys once they get to the playoffs?
Right.
You know, they still got to play at Garces. They still got to play Liberty, Centennial. You got to be able to run the ball.
Oh, yeah, and Centennial looked very, very good. They have a man named Jackson Santiago over there. Oh, a nice pass. On the bootleg is Statler once again. And that's caught by Kai Rodriguez. So that will be the last play of the third quarter. We will take another break and be back with fourth quarter action on Kern High Network with Kenny Calvin, Rick Van Horn, and Dr. Julian Wilson after this. Welcome back to Frontier High School. And if you've never been to a Frontier football game, one of the best things you're missing out on is the phenomenal band. They have one of the best bands in the state of California, and they've been rocking it. Right now, their offense is rocking it. And now they're going with that inside trap to the fullback. And that's going to be close to a first down. Stopped short, right inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah, Frontier should give them a dose of the run game here and get this thing up 35-13.
Yeah, because what Independence has shown you, Coach, is that they're not just going to roll over and play dead. You keep giving them opportunities. They have the weapons over there to make this interesting. And right now, if you don't punch this in, it's definitely giving them an opportunity to keep it tight. And that defensive line is playing inspired, and that's a stop right there.
A host of them, 12-13 for Independence.
So, hey, right on time. We talk about how the offensive Independence has played well. The defense is trying to play with some pride with their backs against the wall as this fourth quarter is underway.
Got a 3rd and about 3. They can still get a first down inside the 3-yard line. You might see some kind of boot play here.
All right, Coach, so you got your crystal ball out.
That was one of the few missed throws by Statler.
Yeah, so now it's 4th and 2, and it looks like they're going for it, which is very interesting based on the fact that a field goal right now does just as much as a touchdown for you. So really, this is like a slap in the face.
Gives you a three possession lead.
Statler. Oh, and he's in for the touchdown. Titans. Makes a great decision to just keep it, Coach, and that might have been the best one because I didn't see any other options.
No.
So the Titans go up 34-13. Independence playing tough, but just a little bit outmatched from a talent perspective overall.
And we're talking about player of the game and talking about how not to give it to Statler and these other guys, but now Statler's making such a strong case for him being the player of the game.
Oh, yeah, Coach. I mean, one of the things that we try to do from a former players and coaches' perspective, we try to see the game from an objective view, give everybody the fair opportunity to be highlighted appropriately. But now that I've watched this kid through, we got 7 quarters of action that we've seen him, he's phenomenal.
Yeah, he is. He's got a handle on this offense. He's got some playmakers around him. He understands. Get it to those guys. Let them do the work.
Right. Not forcing too much. We have seen some errant throws here and there, but it just his decision making is been top tier. He's making the short throws, like you said. When guys are covered down the field, he's hitting his check downs.
Yeah.
That time, it looked like they had a spread opportunity to try to go backside again. It wasn't there, and he tucked it and ran, and that was the best decision that he could have made right there as it was 4th down. So, definitely a beautiful thing seeing young quarterbacks come into their own. And now, Independence trying to continue to play with some passion.
Diego Hernandez, nice run back, gets it out to about the 42-yard line.
Yeah, we haven't said Hernandez's name much tonight. But one thing that we have seen from Independence, even though they're on the lopsided end of it in the 4th quarter, is that they're still playing with some heart.
Yeah. These kids, many of these kids, probably half these kids played on that state final championship game last year, so they know how to win. They won 9 in a row last year.
Right. So not a team that's just going to roll over on you like we said, but now fighting an uphill battle with 10 minutes to play, and they're going back to the ground. They got away with a hold, and they didn't get away with a hold. Great job.
You called that one.
Well, they were coming right at us, Coach. Yeah. I was like, ooh, he got away with one right there. But now it looks like, oh, that's what we don't want to see.
Well, it looked like he just has cramps.
Okay.
Richard Gooden.
That's good because Gooden has played his tail off tonight. And I saw a play earlier in the Florida State game where our quarterback, Francis, was tackled from behind, or Travis. And just sometimes when those big guys get on those knees, man, you never know what's happening. So it's great to see him stretching them out, ladies and gentlemen. That's the universal sign of it's just a cramp. He's going to be all right. So with 10-13 to play, 35-13, want to thank our sponsors at Valley Strong Credit Union. You know, every Friday, and I say this every week, you know, as an administrator for a residential facility, I have to do allowance for my young ladies in the facility. And I always got to go break it down at the window at Kern Schools. I feel like a VIP, man. I pull right up. I ain't got to pull my license out no more. They break it down. They know all my girls' names. You know, and I always think, I'm like, hey, I got your shout out tonight. Me and Coach Van Horn got you. You know, but definitely, you know, the work that goes in to the community, you know, it takes a village, you know, and it's beautiful to have Valley Strong Credit Union a part of our Kern High Network village. We salute you. Now, since we still got a break, ironically, my wife works for the other credit union. I can't say the name, but she's an IT supervisor. So we always joke about Valley Strong being the sponsor for all of our athletic contests here and for Bakersfield College. I said, hey, y'all got to step y'all game up, man. Y'all getting ran through the mud by Valley Strong, man. They're taking over the city.
It's tough to compete because they're Valley Strong now, but they were the Kern.
They were the Kern schools.
Teachers credit union.
Right.
You know, when they began. So.
Right. But major love to the Valley Strong Credit Union family. You know, I always joke about it, but, you know, it's a lot of work that goes in to the community as a whole. You know, and to have people like that, you know, behind the desk helping us out, making the moves and getting things done, you know, is an amazing thing. I also want to thank our staff at the Kern High School District Superintendents. Our boss, Stan Green, man, going into the Hall of Fame, man. You know, it's a beautiful thing. Hall of Fame will be October 20th, weekend of homecoming up on the hill, the Palace on Panorama.
Well, now that the Renegades play at a 4 o'clock game tomorrow afternoon.
4 o'clock game tomorrow. We have Golden West College. You know, it's going to be an amazing day because actually, like you said earlier, Coach, it's finally starting to cool off and we can get fans that don't feel like they're going to lose 12 pounds sitting outside in 113-degree weather. So you know, it's what I call our time, Coach. This is our time, man. You know, and I definitely, you know, I can't thank you enough for all the influence that you've had on me as a player. You know, but, you know, my first coaching experience was coming over and joining you when you went over to East. My redshirt year at BC, you know, I was able to be home and I had a year off. You know, you gave me opportunity to be around, you know, and coach some amazing young men. One of the young men ends up my broadcast partner now. You know, Robert Chavez, man. So
That's right.
You know, love connecting dots, man. Like, I have partners from all over the country, some of the other avenues that I work in, and they always baffled about how connected we are. You know, they feel like aliens compared to how connected we are. And they're like, yeah, it's the same way when I go back to Brooklyn. I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. We are so connected, man. You know, just thinking, you know, with you playing with my dad, you know, and, you know, my Uncle Manuel, who we talked about earlier, just to continued camaraderie from our families. You know, we coach each other's kids. You know, and those kind of experiences is what make Bakersfield and Kern High Network football an amazing thing. So definitely want to.
Yeah, we're the 9th biggest city in California, but yet we're so small.
Was 15:22, and Jacob shattered it. He now holds the record as the fastest 3-miler in Frontier history. Jacob Perez, everybody.
Hey, Titans, let's let them know who we are.
All right, we got Independence with about a first down and 25 here. 10 minutes and 10 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Oh.
Pass complete to number 11, Amarius Rell.
Well, Marius Rao. Yeah, we got a message from his dad confirming the lineage, and now he's trying to get his hands wet with 9:48 to play. You know, I just got a call. There was a little extracurricular activities going on in the parking lot. You know, we hope everybody's safe out there, but we still got football to be played here. 2nd and 9. Trips open set. And they go. Oh. We thought it was a fumble, but just a great play action fake on that RPO read zone. Ellis is tackled.
We thought it was Ethan Eccles with the ball there, but Ellis had pulled that. Probably should have gave it to Eccles that time.
Right.
Well, I got a feeling Big D, Daniel Calvin's out there. There's not going to be a whole lot of messing around going on in that parking lot.
All right. You know, people not, speaking of who we connected to, they don't realize we got security out there, but that's a nice job, but amazing hit at the end of that by the Frontier defender.
That was Brian Anaya with that catch.
Yeah, and Appleton with the tackle. That was a huge tackle, but I continue to be impressed by Prince's ability to keep his eyes downfield as he's scrambling.
And we talked about that. You know, he's learning to be a quarterback. When he breaks that pocket, we all know he can run. But now he's looking to throw the ball when he gets outside of that pocket. And that's the maturity that you see out of him.
Now they go with the end around right there, and that's a nice setup as they hand it to Jonathan Rico. He's going to have first down yardage.
Correction on the tackle, number 6, Chase Bernard.
Great job mixing it up a little bit. That's the first time we've seen that end around from Rico, and they're taking advantage of that pursuit by the Titans. Get flow going one way, you come back opposite. Now we have a quick substitution as Gerard Vachoir comes in.
And they blow it back into play. 1st and 10, Independence, 8:21 left. Oh.
Ellis with the moves. Oh, my goodness. Just to be able to get that throw off, you see the athleticism.
He got hit pretty good there. I think he's going to be all right, though. I tell you what. Well, looking down the schedule, Frontier has Ridgeview. Then they get into their Garces, Stockdale, and then their last game of the year, which will be probably for the league championship, will be against Liberty.
2nd and 10 Falcons at the 42-yard line.
Did we some of the scores early on?
Well, I was checking my Palm Pilot to see if anybody sent us anything. Please get us some of those scoring updates, guys. We've been dry for a while, and now we got Prince making a nice throw outside, and great job finishing the run.
That was Ethan Eccles.
Ethan Eccles.
He kind of stuck that.
Wow.
Caught that ball, stuck his foot in the ground, and got straight up the field. That's what you like to see.
Absolutely. I mean, I remember, you know, we had great running backs 3 to 4 deep. We talk about it every week. But just that was your position to coach guys, and we had some phenomenal backs. That was the one thing that always stuck out in our brains was put your foot in the ground and get upfield as fast as you can. East and west doesn't work, and that was a great example of that. 3rd and short.
One cut, get your butt upfield.
Twins right for Ellis and the Falcons. Now they're going RPO read zone, and they both going in. Ellis with the keeper. Wow, that was an amazing job by Ellis, just riding the hip of his back. You know, and
he was 5 yards downfield, and they both had that ball.
Ooh, his Aunt Carnisha Sawyer's going to like that. Carnisha Johnson, I should say. Mom of Deion Johnson.
You know, at the right college and the right offense, Prince Ellis could be a quarterback at that next level.
Coach, we've seen some amazing athletes year in and year out. He's definitely looking like just as good as all of them we've seen.
Yeah, and you know what you're looking at is you've got Army and Navy who run that flex bone.
Oh, yeah.
Option style ball, and you know, whether he gets a chance or to make a team like that, if he wants to continue to play quarterback.
Absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely.
I would imagine the majority of schools coming around to talk to him and saying, hey, you can play DB or you can play receiver.
Right, now he's got pressure again. He's making another move, but he drops the ball, and that's going to be a turnover.
Ow.
Untimely turnover, and that, you know, and that's one of the things that happens when you're put in a position to have to make so many plays.
And that was just him trying to do too much there.
All right.
And
so, hey, how about this Frontier defense, though? You know, we talked about how well they've played. That was a good drive for Independence to make themselves relevant, but ultimately this defensive line of Frontier has been dominating this football game.
Yes, it has.
So with 6:05 to play in the 4th quarter, Statler takes back over, and now they're going jet sweeping. They got some blocking. And I'm telling you what, if he gets around this corner, it might be a foot race, and that's going to be tackled out at the 47-yard line. But great run.
Devin Cochran, I tell you what, he's made some plays today. He got to be right up there in that top 3 for player of the game.
Now, I'm telling you, Cochran came out smoking, and he's trying to finish strong.
Yeah.
But the one thing I love, too, Coach, real quick, is just the command of the offense that Statler has as well. Getting guys back up to the line, still playing with tempo. This is a pro-style offense, but they're looking like some collegiate guys. Great defense. Underneath by the linebacker.
It's like we got a Frontier Titan down, number 23.
That's going to be Kai Rodriguez. But I definitely want to give a shout-out to this young linebacker inside, Jamie McQueen. That was a great job playing underneath the route. Sometimes you don't have to have a guy perfectly covered. You just have to be within the path of the ball, and that was a great job by him. Now they're going with the power, and like you said, Coach, let's see if they can put them to sleep with this running game. And how about the blocking outside? Now we got a late flag. And now the emotions are starting to roll as you see 5:45 on the clock in the 4th quarter, and the game is starting to really feel like it's settling in. That's usually when those emotions start flying along with a couple of fists.
Well, let's see which way that one goes.
And that's going to be against the Titans. And if you're Coach Chris Bandy and Coach Durkin, you're a little upset at that.
Yeah, number 77, Travis Perry. Coach Chris Big Show Bandy going to have a little word with him maybe, huh?
and Coach Bandy, I don't know if you guys met Coach Bandy. Coach Bandy, one of those coaches, you don't want to be sitting in the room with him alone as he's getting ready to yell at you, man. Dude look like he can raise the octaves a little bit. Statler making him scramble, and now he's putting on his show. And he's saying Ellis ain't the only one with moves out here, Coach Cal. I see you. Oh, and is that even Statler out there still? Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Wow, so Coach, for the first time, he's opened up different parts of his game for us and showed us that, hey, I'm not just a guy that sits back here, even though I do it very well. He's made a lot of plays with his feet tonight.
Yeah, he's made about 2 or 3, 4 plays with his feet. This is a stage in the game where, you know, if you're Frontier, you got 4 minutes left. You got a pretty comfortable lead. You don't want to get this guy hurt.
Right. And that's definitely something that you want to think about from a perspective of already having the game in hand. And what I liked about our old teams when we got up on guys, our twos and threes were playing in the third quarter. You know, once we get up 20 and 30 on guys, we giving our twos and threes the opportunity to shine because they were better than a lot of ones. Nonetheless, it's 1st and 10 for the Titans. And they go back to that double set, and will we see our first under center snap of the night for Statler? Yes, and they're going with that power to the left, and that's a nice move in the backfield, but he's holding on for dear life.
And that's
Gooden.
That's Richard Gooden, who laid on the field there out there for about 15 minutes. He's back in the game.
Right, and he laid out there so long, Coach, I started to get a little worried that it wasn't a cramp.
2nd and 7, 3:55 left, 35-13, Frontier.
Oh, so we got some scores, and thanks.
We talked about missed tackles, and he got another 12 yards after that initial missed tackle.
Right, nice job by Kai Rodriguez.
Yeah.
And special thanks to one of my favorite coaches and kickers of all time, Mateo Lorenzo. He sends us the updates. We got Clovis North 37-14 over the Drillers. That's a tough one. We got his alma mater 28-0. Foothill wins over Roseman. That's a nice win for the Trojans over Roseman. The Trojans come away with the 28-0 win over Roseman. And we were asking about the Trojans during the break, right, Doc? So we got a timeout. Gives us time to still talk about some scores. Crosstown battle. Wasco versus McFarland, 45-14.
Wasco, I bet, huh?
Absolutely. You know, Wasco's been playing very well in recent years. They got some Valley championships. Centennial wins 35-26 over Sanger.
That's a big win.
That's a big win. And I'm going to tell you what, Coach, I had a chance to do that Centennial game.
I was with you.
You were with me.
I tell you what, Centennial, Frontier, could be the game of the year.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and say that with you because Copus played very well at the quarterback position for Centennial that night, even though we gave the player of the game to Santiago. But now Statler. Oh, and Statler's picked off his first mistake. He kept trying to force it. And now Independence is looking like it's going to the house, and it's across the 50 to the 40. One man to beat. Nice block in Calvary, and that's going to be touchdown Falcons by the big man inside.
George Pineda.
Oh, my goodness. Jorge Pineda to the house. Talk about not giving up. Wow.
Well, if you're Frontier, you dipped into the well a little too much. You didn't have to. You could have worked on your running game. Kind of one of those things where you're trying to up your stats, and that's always good, but let's get the win.
Right, because now it might sway the voting a little bit from the player of the game aspect, because you almost threw that interception about 5 times tonight. Yeah. They missed that about 5 times. Yeah. You kept going back to that slot matchup, and that's just a great play by the linebacker and finally making a play.
Yeah. And that's just getting a little too greedy too late in the game.
Right. I mean, because really what's the point when you're already up and handily winning? Why are you continuing to throw the ball when you should be running it to get your guys out of here to avoid injury and prepare for the next week? But the kick is up.
And the two-point conversion
Two-point conversion is good, I should say.
And we've got a late hit on Frontier. So, your Coach Bandy, you got to reel him in. Let's go. Get that 4-minute offense going. You're going to have to use it sometime this year where you just line up and say, we're going to run this ball and we need some first downs, 2 first downs, and we're out of here.
Right, Coach, and that's kind of what's frustrating from the coach's perspective for me and you is we've seen what Mackay can do in the passing game. Now is where you want to see what your offensive line and running backs can do to finish the game.
Can they finish? Can they, just like you said, can they finish the game?
So with 3:13 to play, 35-21, we thought we had a solid player of the game at the conclusion of this contest, but it might waver a bit. We still got a few minutes. I mean, that's just my opinion. I don't know if you can throw a pick to the house, and just walk away clearly with player of the game when you were pretty much you were our favorite until that play.
Yeah. Now they get the late hit marked off on the kickoff. Now you're going to see an onside kick.
Oh, and a little trickery. Oh, and that's going to be recovered by the Titans. And now let's see if we go ahead and see that night 4-minute offense. And nothing to take away. We're being a little tough on Statler and the coaching staff towards the end, but it's just about execution and how you finish games. That's not how you do it. And I'm sure Coach Bandy's going to agree. I'm not sure if he's the person that was making the decisions on continuing to throw that football in those moments. But right now you have a 14-point game with 3:12 left, and I've seen some weird things happen with less time. So now you have the Titans under center in the ace formation, double set. They handed off on the power. And he's going to be taken out of bounds.
See, it's the little things that you don't notice. The running back, what did he do?
Went out of bounds.
Went out of bounds.
Right.
That clock should be running.
Right. I mean, because these kind of mistakes aren't going to help you beat a great team.
No, you're gonna have to hit. You're gonna have to line up against Clovis West and these schools up north. That this kind of thing you'll need.
Right. And for our listeners who are wondering, well, why are you guys talking like this? It looks like they're going to win the game. What we're explaining to you guys is things that you want to do to seek perfection. These are things that we're seeing out of the offense in the last couple of plays that keep you from being great and beating great teams. We analyze and we criticize, but really it's a teaching moment.
Yeah.
For the staffs to understand that you got to make better decisions to close out football games. And now they're still throwing the football with 2:26 to play, and I'm sure you want to try to get this first down, of course. But you would like to do it without giving any time back.
That's right. You know, last year, Frontier got the opportunity. They got moved down in the playoffs, and they got to run. They got to beat up Wasco and some of these others. That's not going to happen anymore.
Right.
You know, they're going to stay in Division II, and if anything, get bumped up to Division I, where now they got to play San Joaquin Memorial, Central, and these guys that know how to finish out games.
All right. So now, Independence with an opportunity. Punt return on the field. You got Frontier punting. You take this ball to the house or get a block right now. You put yourself an opportunity to extend this football game with 2 minutes to play. Oh, and now you see an extremely late hit by Jonathan Rico, and that's what you don't want to do when you're finally getting the ball back. Wow. So that's going to affect that field position. And that's a personal foul, too. So that's not only a block in the back, it's really a late hit. Hitting the guy when he's not even looking. You're coming 10 yards away from him and beaming the guy in the back. Boy, I'm telling you.
On those hidden yards, we talked about special teams, penalties. People don't realize it. 1 out of every 6 plays in a football game is some kind of kick. Punt, kickoff, extra point.
Yeah, so we got some eyes in the sky. It looked like Frontier only had 10 men on the field during the punt. Man, we got the special teams ace spotting for us tonight, and Coach Mateo Alvarez, special teams genius for the Renegades. Man, we go back so far. Mateo used to be my ball boy when I was playing. Then he was my kicker when I was coaching. And now he's coaching the kickers. Man, we getting old. 1st and 10, Independence. Ellis trying to make a play, and that's going to be out of bounds, incomplete with 2:09 to play in this 4th quarter. You know, it's been.
That's one he probably should have took off and ran. He had plenty of room out there.
Yeah, I mean, Ellis is going to get better. One thing we know about Independence, they're going to continue to get better as the year goes on and league play happens. They're going to be scary when he finds rhythm with his skill players.
Yeah.
Trips open set for the Falcons. And that's a nice throw, and if he makes one miss, he might go, and he slips. The clock will stop with the first down, and it's getting interesting, ladies and gentlemen, because if they can try to score with 1:30.
That was our guy, Royal.
Rao. Demarius Rao with the catch. That's incomplete, and that'll stop the clock with 1:50 left. And that was intended for Franco. Oh, no, it was intended for Anaya.
And you kind of see, we've been talking about all Ellis the whole game. But you see what one kid can do to a program. South High's 0-4.
Right.
I don't know how they did tonight, but, you know, with him over there, chances are they're not 0-4.
Right. I mean, in the individual effort alone. But how about that individual effort by the Frontier defense? And I think it might be the guy that's saying,
Ethan Atkins.
Oh, my goodness. Ethan Atkins is playing lights out. He has sacks. He has picks. This kid has been phenomenal tonight from the defensive line. And really the defensive line of Frontier has been the difference in the football game. Oh, and Atkins with another batted ball. And I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, this kid looks like a young Javon Curse right now. Look that name up. Defensive lineman.
And you know what? He's only a junior.
Oh, my goodness. I wonder what this kid's wingspan is. We don't have no size, height, and weight on here, but it looks like he's the tallest kid on the field. He already has one interception.
He's 6'1", 211.
6'1", 211. This kid been playing lights out tonight. Yeah, he looks taller than that, right? So 6'1", 211, Ethan Atkins.
We got 4th down and about 16 for Independence. Got a minute 15 left on the clock.
Ellis with the pass, and he has a man, but that's going to be picked off, and that's a nice job by the Frontier DBs, and I'm sure Kenny Has is loving that because that's the first interception of the game, and that's going to put an exclamation point on it.
Malcolm Watkins, number 17, the freshman, who had a couple nice catches on offense, that he's got to garner some votes for that player of the game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's played phenomenal tonight as well. I'd love to see his numbers. And I can't remember exactly who had what touchdowns between him and Kobe Watson. But ultimately, with 1:08 to play, that's going to bring us down to some kneeling by Malachi Statler, I should say. I've been mixing his name up in my head all night with Mekhi Phifer and Malachi Statler.
Well, now that we're under a minute, 57 seconds left. We got Atkins, we got Watkins. Even though he did throw a pick.
Statler had a phenomenal game.
He threw a pick 6. We don't know, we don't know if his call or coach's call, but I might be leaning that way myself. I don't know about you two guys.
Well, I agree, Coach, because that interception didn't determine the outcome of the game, and he played phenomenal. He controlled the pocket. He made some fantastic decisions.
Yeah.
And really, he just seems so mature. So yeah, being DBs and defensive guys, we always try to nudge it to the defense, but I definitely with you.
It was almost 1 and 1A with Atkins and Statler.
Right. So that is the end of our contest, Coach. It's been an amazing game. Independence showed some strength, didn't just roll over, but like you called it, our player of the game, Kern High Network player of the game, Malachi Statler, for the Frontier Titans as they take the victory over the Independence Falcons. We want to thank everybody who joined us on this Kern High Network broadcast brought to you by I almost said Kern Schools. Valley Strong Credit Union, one of the best credit unions in the land. Also want to thank our staff at the Kern High School District Superintendents, as well as our family and friends at home listening. This has been Kenny Calvin, Dr. Julian Wilson, and Rick Van Horn. We will see you next week on Kern High Network Football. Salute.